What's quack-a-lacking, guys? I'm a Duck Quack here, and welcome back to another episode on Marquee matchups. So we should be seeing the weekend games drop on Marquee matchups probably on Thursday this week. So we're just going to have a look at the key ones, in my opinion anyway, and see how many of those we can guess right. So we're going to start it off very simple. It's going to be the biggest game in the world. It's going to be El Clasico. So it's FC Barcelona against Real Madrid. Now, what would usually put me off here is the fact that Barcelona are currently included in the marquee matchups. They're in the Continental one, the Champions League ones. But we've just seen a Manchester United one used on the Thursday and then repeated on the Tuesday, which makes me think that potentially for such a big game, they could include this again. Now, if we're looking at investments here, it's a bit of a funny one because the Barcelona prices are obviously already massively inflated because of the marquee matchups that's going on at the moment. So if we have a quick search here for gold players for about 950, you'll see that I think it's pretty much just, Rafinha pops up, and that's about it. If we change it to about 1,100, we should get a few Vidals. There we go. That's what I was after. So you're going to be buying at inflated price, so the risk is already higher. If it pays off, though, the reward is going to be fantastic. But it just seems like there's a bit too much risk investing in the Barcelona players here. Personally, if you feel like this match is going to be included, the Real Madrid players just seem a lot safer. So we've got the likes of Casilla, Danilo, and Coentrao seems a little bit low rated in my opinion, whereas the Brazilian and Spanish links here are nicer to build a hybrid if they require multiple nations or anything. Again, guys, make sure you're bidding on these and try and pick them up as close to discard as possible. If you do feel like the rating may be a little bit higher than this, there is no reason why you shouldn't invest slightly higher. So we've got the likes of Kovacic and I think Casemiro as well, that's 81 rated. And you can get them for about 1,200 coins a pop. This isn't a massive risk because it's not like they're inflated due to anything. These are the actual prices of what these guys are worth. So you may lose 100 coins a card if everything plummets, but if the requirement is quite a high rating, you've got that covered as well. Okay, guys, so on to game number 2, and we move over to the Austrian League for this one. So this is going to be the Wiener Derby, or Wiener Derby, however you pronounce it, between the two teams Austria Vienna, and then we've got Rapid Vienna as well. So if we're looking at investing in these two for such a big match here, it's probably going to be a bronze requirement kind of thing. So if we're having a look at the moment, you can pick them all up on open bid for 150 for absolutely no problem whatsoever. The thing that usually catches people out here, though, is the nationality requirements. So if either team have a different nationality, like there, we saw a Spanish player, this makes a lot more sense to pick up than the ones that are just going to be Austrian across the whole board. So try and think outside the box. Pick up these Spanish guys, because if you need a Rapid Vienna, Austrian Vienna player, it's not going to matter if they're Austrian or Spanish in theory, but if they require extra nations included, then you've got that covered. If they require Austrian players, well, it's not like they're short on it, so you can easily just pick up the other ones, and you're not going to lose anything. We could look at silver players for these teams, but the problem with these are we're not going to be picking them up for discard anymore. We've kind of missed the boat on that one. You saw there was one for 250, 300. You can still pick up a couple of goalkeepers, but it just seems safer to pick up the bronzes for 150 this late on. But we can still find value, like I mentioned, like in the position, like in the slightly higher ratings, and like in the nationality. Okay, guys, so for game number 3, we move over to a massive rivalry in the Eredivisie. we have Ajax against PSV. Now, if we're looking at investing in these players, it's so simple. They're all discard. Look, you can bid on this guy for 400. Yes, he's a right winger. Yes, he's of a Uruguayan nation. The risk with this guy, though, is he might not be used. If they don't have a wide formation, you're going to lose out. That's why I always recommend picking up something like this. He's a CDM. He's from the Dutch league, and he's a Dutch player, so it covers both. There's plenty of different nationalities in this league, so it makes it less likely that they're going to have 10 different nationalities or anything like that. Look, so we've got Dutch, we've got Mexican, we've got Uruguayan, Colombian, just French in there. So many different nationalities that it's easy to build around. But just pick up something that you feel could be included. So I could see them doing 2 players from PSV, 2 from Ajax, or 1 from each, X amount of Dutch players. If we're picking up a PSV Dutch player, we have that covered. If it needs more nationalities, there's enough of them to cover it. It just seems safer, and for the price we're paying here, easier to invest in the Dutch ones this time round. Just my opinion though, guys. You might completely disagree, and I'm sure you've got good reasons if you do, and I'd love to hear them. But if we look at Ajax as well, as you can see here, all the cheap ones here are from Denmark. If we just slightly think outside the box, so if we don't look at the bare minimum, we actually up it to about 750 here. Now, you may be thinking that that's a lot higher than discard, but the reality is it isn't. If we're picking up the rare golds instead of the non-rare golds here, then it's basically discard price for them as well. We're just thinking a little bit higher. So like here, Ziyech, 81 rated card for 750 coins. That seems like a stupidly safe investment for me. If we're staying down the Dutch route, we've got this guy here. 76 rated Riedewald. Dutch, Ajax, covers all kinds of angles. We can cover so much more if we just think a little bit further into things here. Okay, guys, so the last match we're going to be looking at here. We've got the FA Cup match on the weekend. It's Chelsea against Spurs. Now, EA like to include these cup games, and seeing as it's one of the only FA Cup games we've got going on this week, it makes sense that they'd include something quite as big as this. So if we firstly have a look at Spurs players, it's going to be Janssen that we can pick up for the cheapest, but then we've also got the likes of, oh, there's a random winner here, but we've also got Vorm. So the reason I like Vorm is he's a higher rating. He's 80 rated, he's in a vital position, and he's from a weird nationality. Now, when we see BPL marquee matchups, they do usually like to either limit the amount of players from a certain league you can use, or limit the amount of players from a certain nationality you can use. The good thing about Vorm is he easily links into 2 Dutch centre-backs, so you can easily hybrid it off, or you can just link him into BPL players. It covers all angles, and he's currently used for different SBCs, and he's 80 rated. So it kind of ticks multiple boxes here, which I quite like. If we go to Chelsea now, because they fairly recently had an SBC around them, marquee matchups, we're not going to get anything for really cheap. So the cheapest player I think for them at the moment is going to be Moses. Yeah, we've got 78 rated wingback Moses. And we've got Musonda here, the left mid. Now, the reason I'm not a huge fan of Moses is it's a 78 rated card. Musonda's a 77 rated card. Moses is Nigerian. So firstly, if they need multiple nationalities, he's very hard to link into. Secondly, he's a right wing back. If they don't play a formation with fullbacks, we're in a lot of trouble here. Same with Musonda. If they don't play wingers, we're in a lot of trouble. Personally, what I like going for is just spending that tiny bit more, picking up a much higher rated card of Batshuayi, 81 rated, about 1,000 coins if you're bidding on him, maybe even less if you're smart with it. And it's kind of his going price at the moment due to SBCs and everything. So there's not that much risk involved in spending that tiny bit more. Obviously, guys, you're free to make your own decisions with this. I'm not telling you these are the right choices. I'm just explaining to you what I've invested in personally and the reasons for it. Anyway, guys, as usual, we're not going to go into too many different matchups. We're just going to use the 4 that I think are most likely and just see how many of them we get right. Try and spread your bets. So don't just invest in one match. Try investing in multiple matches because then you cover more angles this way and hence lower the risk as well. Anyway, guys, going to end the video there. If you're still enjoying these little videos where we look at investments or marquee matchups or whatever it is, make sure you drop a like, subscribe if you're new, and comment down with any kind of discussions or anything you've got in the comments below. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.